What's going on, people? Welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV and welcome back to some more unpopular opinions. Everyone, you can stop being bored this weekend of the international break. England was Friday night, but we're here with the unpopular opinions and let's get straight into episode number 2. And this is from Mark Stowell from Twitter and he says, Reguilon isn't good enough defensively. Not great attacker either. Shit scared when given the chance to shoot.
I do feel like that last part, when I do feel like he does have a bit of a lack in composure when he gets in shooting positions. He kind of rushes it a lot of the time, and a lot of time it goes well over the bar.
It's literally every time he's in front of goal, whether it's an open goal, whether it's a one-on-one, whether anything, he always shits the bed in front of goal.
He rushes it, always rushes it. So I think that's a good point. In terms of not being good enough defensively, I think he's had great games defensively. I do think there have been times as well where he gets caught out occasionally, but I do think he's good enough defensively. I think with a bit, give him time, especially under Conte, he's going to make him a very good fullback. I reckon he's going to know exactly how to play him, and not great in attack. I think crossing wise and his final ball, it needs improvement, but he did get six assists last season, so that proves he can have a final ball.
He's our top assister this season as well, right?
He's got 2 assists this season already.
2 or 3, I think.
One of the 2. Anyway, but he's got a good final ball when given time and space. So I think he can be good enough for us going forward.
Yeah, I agree with that. But in terms of his defensive, how good he is defensively, I think when you look back on last season, I think actually the first 6 months he was quite good defensively, and then he tailed off a lot in the second half of the season. But so far this season, I actually think he's improved a lot defensively.
Yeah. I think he was actually playing. He had a really good start to the season, actually, one of the shining lights under Nuno in general. And
I think Conte will bring him on leaps and bounds as well. I think he's going to be one of the ones that really, really comes on under Conte.
Yeah, him and Emerson, I think, are going to improve massively.
All right, let's move on.
From Mr. Chase, he says, Sim always sticks up for Harry Kane. Let's admit it, lads. His performances are not of a £150 million striker. His stats speak volumes. He needs time on the bench with Sonny up front. No, it's John in the background there criticising. But what's good? I always stick up for Kane. Look, I will acknowledge if Kane has a bad game, but I'm always on his side for sure. I think he's been on one of the best strikers in the Premier League for a number of years consistently, and I think he deserves a bit of loyalty. He deserves for us to stick by him when he's going through a bit of bad form. Yes, I know he wanted to leave in the summer, but I think we could all understand the reasons. And now, hopefully, with the Conte appointment, the club are showing a bit more ambition, and hopefully that can reinvigorate Kane, which is completely understandable. And I'm not going to start throwing Harry Kane away because of a bit of bad form beginning of the season. Well, why would I?
But why is taking him out of the team for 1 or 2 games throwing him away?
Oh, that's not fair. I'm just saying, well, what you're saying, I always stick up for Harry Kane. Of course I do. I'm always going to back him to return to form, is my point.
In terms of what he's saying, that he needs to come out of the team and he's not performing like £150 million strike. Well, he's not performing like £150 million.
Well, over the last 10 games, he's not, no.
That's a fact. But in terms of him coming out the team, I was saying under Nuno, I think he needed to come out the team under Nuno, and I said maybe 1 or 2 games, let's see how we go without him, because our attack does look a lot more fluid with him out the team sometimes. But now we've got Conte, I genuinely believe that Conte is going to get the best out of him again, so I think we need to persist with Harry Kane now we've got Conte. But under Nuno, I was kind of under that thinking.
Yeah, I mean, look, under Nuno, I was willing to try anything. The things are going on. Obviously, it was going so poorly, but I think that, as you say, now Conte's through the door. Look, one of the main reasons Conte is at Spurs is because we showed enough ambition. Well, not ambition, but we kept Kane, basically, which wasn't an assurance when we were dealing with Conte in the summer. So, obviously, Conte is going to be one of the main factors in getting Kane back to form, and he's not going to bench him anytime soon.
All right, let's move on. What is the next one? The next one is from Banner. Bulls Kevin, and he says, there is good player in Winks. Also, our fans turn on players too quickly.
I think our fans turn on players too quickly is partly true. There is a good player in Winks. I think there is a good player in Winks. I just don't. I think we haven't seen it in a very, very long time. And then because he's been average for like 2 years now, that turns him into an average player. It doesn't mean there was never a good player in there in the first place. I do think in his early years under Poch and whatever, especially when we were playing in Champions League at Wembley, he put in some really great performances. But that player just seems a long way away right now, and that's the problem. with him. But in terms of too quickly, I think in terms of Winks, I don't think it's quick. It's been fans gave him an opportunity, but it's been a long time now. Like Dele as well, fans were willing to give him more than enough time to turn it around, and it's been 3 years now.
The thing is, like
Kane, I agree. For the Kane thing, I think they did turn him too quickly.
The thing is with this kind of turning on players too quickly, it depends which way you want to look at it, because a lot of times people can accuse Spurs fans of giving players too much loyalty as well. You know what I mean? Like the players you just mentioned with Dele Alli.
I think the club probably give them too much loyalty, but the fans turn them too quickly.
Yeah, but the fans are always kind of clinging on to that nostalgic feeling with Dele Alli and a few other players.
Yeah, and also Eriksen. Fans turned on Eriksen and now they want him back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Classic.
But in terms of, is there a good player in Winks? Yes, there is a good player in there, but I think he just got a bit too comfortable at Tottenham and he needs to move to progress his career, because I don't think it's going to happen at Tottenham.
Unless Conte can do something with him.
Yeah.
You never know.
I mean, he came on and had a nice little cameo in Vitesse, but you're not going to read too much into that.
No, it's only Vitesse. He had a good cameo against Wickham, wasn't it, last year as well?
Yeah.
I had to look. I don't think...
and Passos this year.
I think it's unlikely that he's going to want to rely on Winks. I think he'll probably want someone like, as we've seen, like Kessie or something brought in through the door.
Yeah, we just need better quality now. We need better quality. We don't have time and space in this squad for passengers anymore.
Yeah.
We just don't have it anymore. We need to get back to basics. We need to get back to winning football games. We need to get back to playing good football as well. And unfortunately, Winks does not fall into those categories.
All right.
All right, what's the next one?
Alan Remo Tommy says, Tottenham will challenge for the title if Conte stays beyond the 18-month contract. Now, the only reason why there might be some credence to what he's saying is because his Klopp could be near the ending of his time at Liverpool. I don't think he's going anytime soon, but maybe in a couple of years' time he could be looking to leave. Pep, we know, I think this is his penultimate year. I think the next season is his last season. Man United right now, no one knows what's going on with them. Who knows? If Conte stays...
I think it's a simple thing. Like, if Conte stays beyond 18 months, something's got to be going right.
Yeah, exactly.
Something's got to be going right? And Conte won't stay if he doesn't get the players he wants in. So if he stays beyond 18 months, it means he's getting the players in, things are going right, there's good relationship between him and the board. And yeah, maybe we can challenge for the title. I'm not saying we're going to win it, but maybe we can challenge it.
Yeah, we could catch Liverpool and City in transition at that time, in a couple of years' time.
Yeah.
Which is maybe where we can pounce.
Don't underestimate Liverpool getting rid of this sporting director as well, because apparently he's done a stellar job for them. And who knows how their recruitment's going to be after that.
Interesting. So maybe he's got a point, Alan. All right, next one.
Next one we got from Lee Carr. No relation to Stevie Carr.
Who knows?
Saying Dier,
like Stevie Carr.
Dier is an underrated centre-back and has played better than Romero this season.
In terms of underrated, I think, given the narrative is that he's useless and crap and terrible, he probably is underrated in that aspect. But I personally don't think he's good enough for Tottenham to be challenging for top four with him in our backline. We probably need an upgrade. Has he been better than Romero this season? I think he's been pretty good this season overall. Don't think he's been terrible, but I think Romero. I know Romero had a bit of a shoddy start, but in the last few games or so, he's been different levels to Dier.
He has been a different level, but I think when you look at the whole context of the season, I think this might be right, actually. I think Romero, like you said, took a bit of a wild bedding in period. He's only had about, 2 top games for us, really. And Eric Dier, I think he's been more or less solid pretty much the whole season, apart from 1 or 2 mishaps. So I think maybe he has a case there. I really believe that.
Maybe. I think I don't think Dier's been terrible this year.
I'm not saying Dier's a better player than Romero. I'm just saying, of course, Romero's miles better than Eric Dier as an actual football player and a central defender. But I actually think he might have a case in terms of Dier has been a bit better than Romero this season.
What about him being underrated?
Yeah, he is underrated because everyone calls him a complete waste of time, liability, awful defender, and he's just a bit above that.
There you go.
All right, next one. All right, what's this one?
Divecar says Davis is going to be a solid centre-back in a back three under Conte. Bergwijn has the potential to be a better wing-back than Emerson.
Davis is going to be a solid centre-back 3. Well, I can see that definitely being true.
Yeah, I think he will be. I think we'll see a different Davis under Conte than we did under previous managers. I think he will improve. I don't think he'll improve to the extent that he's going to be like a stalwart in our back line and seen as an untouchable.
He's still going to be the first one to be replaced.
Exactly. But I do think we'll probably see we'll see an improvement from him. So I reckon he will be solid, but we need more than solid. We need exceptional. That's the thing.
Definitely. And Steven Bergwijn has the potential to be better wing back than Emerson Royale. I mean, I think that he definitely has potential to be a good wing back. Whether he's to be better than Emerson Royale, I'm not too sure, because I'm actually really liking the look of Emerson Royale.
Well,
he's getting better and better every game.
Emerson has like the stamina, doesn't he, to really dominate a wing, which we know Bergwijn is fast and strong, but does he have to be up and down that wing for 90 minutes? We don't know whether he has that in him. We'll have to wait and see. In terms of final ball, we've seen Bergwijn put in some good crosses. Emerson, a bit hit and miss so far, but maybe with improvements he can improve that. And defensively, I think Emerson's actually pretty solid. I think he's pretty good. So Bergwijn, in that aspect, would have a lot of catching up to do.
For all this talk at the beginning of the season, or when Tomiyasu signed for Arsenal, everyone was like, "Oh, we signed the wrong right back, Tomiyasu over Emerson." But I'm actually thinking that Emerson's looking better than Tomiyasu now.
Yeah, Tomiyasu is looking decent, but again, like, he's in a team right now where he's just very much just defending a lot of the time.
In a Conte system, he would play at the back. He wouldn't play as a wing back.
He would play in the centre back, exactly. And I think he might get found out a few times when Arsenal need to. Like, for example, games against Norwich and against Watford, they've just scraped it 1-0, and they've kind of lacked that real attacking impetus. Maybe because they're not using the fullbacks as good as they could in that sense. Whereas hopefully Emerson could be more of an attacking option.
All right. I think that is that it?
Yeah.
That is it for episode 2 of Unpopular Opinions. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.